What's going on, my fellow Farmall brothers and sisters? Alright, so today we are going to put the injection pump back on to the 450 diesel. And something very odd happens. Stay tuned, you're going to see what happened. Alright, so I went ahead and I did the, finished the injection pump. As you would have saw in the last video, I painted it and everything, got it all cleaned up, and it's ready to go back on. I haven't peeled the tape off the identification plate and all that yet, so none of that's been done. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get this thing back on the tractor. But funny how things work out. It went from just rebuilding and resealing the injection pump to what I got into on this 450. I don't know why. I don't know what hit me. Somehow the pressure washer found its way in my hand. The descaler found its way in my hand. Sandpaper found its way in my hand. Then the paint gun found its way in my hand. I didn't do a restoration on this 450 diesel, but I just wanted to clean it up and make it all one color. I don't know, just after doing the injection pump, I just decided, you know what, since I want to use this tractor around here, the tractor actually runs pretty damn good, might as well at least make it look good. Now, it's not down to like the Super A quality restoration that I've done. It will get that eventually, but right now, it's not going to get that. Right now, I just want to be able to use the tractor. So yeah, she's looking a lot better. I got a lot of parts for it that actually have been sitting on the shelf. Additional parts that I've been ordering, and I'm going to replace, like the hydraulic lines and stuff like that on it. Like the ones in the back, they're a little dry rot. I'd rather replace them now than before they decide to get crusty and spew. I am getting ready to pull the rims and tires off, because obviously I didn't paint the rims and tires on them yet, because I need to get that onto the driveway on a solid surface so I can jack this thing up and get those off. But I'll spin this around and kind of show you where it's at so far. Like I said, again, this is just a repaint. This isn't a restoration. This is just to make it look good. Now, as far as the sheet metal though, I am going to bang out all the dents, all the marks, fix the area around the exhaust. Excuse me, just had breakfast. I am going to fix everything on it and get the sheet metal looking really good. Obviously, there's no reason why not to. So, anyway, let me spin this around. I kind of show you what I started on this thing. All right. It's all one color back here. Like I said, now the rims and tires aren't done yet because I need to get this thing jacked up so I can get the wheels off, get the axle shafts and all painted on it. But I'm going to pop up a picture. Actually, you know what? Let me go right here. I'll pop up a picture now. And that's what the tractor used to look like, color-wise. Like I said, she was a lot of different colors. But I just wanted, like I said, to freshen it up, give it a one clean overall paint job. And I'm going to do the radiator next. I'm going to clean that up, paint it the radiator black, and then pull the front wheels off, do the hubs and everything, do the rims. Tires actually on the front are good. And the back ones, I got those 16x9 Titans I'm actually going to put on here. But I am going to have to pull the rims off. Right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and just repair the rim, because it's got one bad spot, of course, around the valve stem. So I'm going to go ahead and, once I crack this thing off the rim, I'm going to sand into this, and I'm probably going to go ahead and just patch and make this area. If it's too bad, then obviously I'm just going to have to replace the rim. The only other rims I have sitting around are the ones for the 300, which are 15s by 38s, but of course the mount's different. These are the double bevel mount. Anyway, so yeah, I got to get these tires off of here because they're pretty fugly. They're really bad shape. But overall, like I said, the red and all came out really nice on this thing. I mean, she really looks 100% better. And I did do the laser engraving on the new identification plate. So that's all now laser engraved. So nice new plate on there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start getting this injection pump on there. Get the lines on there. Get this thing primed and fire it off. So let me get set up in the stand and let's get it rolling. All right, well, now the fittings are on and all cleaned up and looking good. Now it's time to get ready to put the ejection pump on. So here she is, all cleaned up and looking nice. I got a new gauge in the shop. I'm going to get ready to put that on after I install this. But everything looks good and is ready to rock and roll. So now it's time to, I got to get it set in first. Gasket goes on, get her set in. Once I get it set in, I'm going to leave it loose, not tighten it up yet. That way I can work all these lines, get all these lines back on. Once I get the lines on and we get it set where we want it, and then we're going to go ahead and put this pointer back in and bring it back around to where it was. I didn't have to move anything, didn't have to bump the engine. I got to all 3 bolts, no problem. All I got to do is reset this pointer back to its mark here, and then we're good to go. So all in all, pretty simple, as long as you mark everything. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and open up the diesel, let it drain on through. I might go ahead and crank it a few times, maybe crack these lines loose in the injectors, let it pump out of there a little bit. After that, should be able to go ahead and fire it off. So fingers crossed everything works the way it's supposed to. But I have a good feeling about it, and like I said, I know that ejection pump ain't gonna leak no more. So I know that's good to go. I did notice somebody made a comment about the injection pumps on the primary pump, about buying the kits and sealing them, and then obviously if you have a worn shaft, it's going to leak. Well, of course, it's definitely going to leak. So you got to make sure that shaft on that primary pump is good before you put the seal on. But I do think that the kit from BK, coming with 2 seals that go inside here on this primary pump, is a good idea, because I think if you run that one single seal, it's a good chance that single seal will come out to the end of that shaft, and if you do have a worn shaft, it's going to leak. But with having a seal to the back and a seal to the front, side by side, that really eliminates the issue of having that diesel fuel leak out of there. So I think we should be good. And then for the cover, I had to make the gasket for that. It didn't come in any of my kits, and I didn't feel like buying one, so it was easy enough just to go ahead and duplicate it. So I went ahead and I cut that out. That's ready to roll. So let's go ahead and set back up in the stand and let's get this pump on here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna throw a couple of rags down. That way I just don't get all scratched up really bad. So I can remember how I got it out that day in the rain. I don't think I'll put the side in first, but let's find out. Yep, just got to clear that water trap. And it's going in there. Okay, now she's set in place. Now it's time to get that gear popped on. You can get up, get a single bolt in. Okay, now let me move this up a little bit. Now let me show you real quick. So I did it the easy way. While she was loosened down, I set all the injector lines back on where it goes, so I don't have to try to bend them up and pop them in. So they're in now. I got a single bolt starter here, and we have it shoved on the gear right here. So we're actually good to go. As you see on my bolts, I have easy access to everything. So now it's just tightening and putting it all back together. Not too bad. It's easier to grab it from the primary and give it a lift and give her a wiggle like that. Pushes it right in place. And then this one here goes down here in the bottom. Just like that. I'm going to get the top one snugged up a little bit first. I don't want to tighten it up yet. I just want to get it so most of the play is out of it. Like that, because I want to get all these fuel lines in there first. Alright, we're good there. I'm going to snug this one up a little bit. This is easier with an extension. Okay, that's tight enough. Now, snug this one up. Let me grab a wrench. Okay, good enough. Alright, now we'll move all these so I don't drop them everywhere. I know, like I said, it's not a restoration. Just a cleanup, but I don't want to scratch the paint either. Okay, so obviously this fuel line will go here and here. I think I can do that one last though. Get the ones that are a little more difficult in there first. Pop this cap out of here. I capped everything off before painting it because I don't want anything getting inside that fuel line. Okay, now, gotta remember where everything went. I think the worst part about doing this is trying to do it so you guys can see what I'm doing, not be in the way. Now on the side with the compression fittings, I'm not using any kind of Teflon tape. But on the fittings that screw in, I am using Teflon tape on those. Just be careful when you put them on. You don't want that Teflon tape close to the edge or that fuel can break it up and push it through your line. So make sure you roll it back away from those edges. And obviously you want to keep a hold of the two wrenches when you're tightening them. Make sure they're tight, but make sure you're not bending up on the line because you will break a line. Alright, now that we're back into actual fuel, time to get rid of that cigar. Alright, now, let's see if I have everything in place where it's supposed to be. Pretty easy, scarily. I think the worst part about this is getting that water trap and that bracket back in. That can be such a pain. Alright, let's get that snugged up. I think that is, a 3/4. I think it looks better with the lines all wire wheeled back into the brass instead of paint all over them. I just think it looks nicer in the end. I know when I repaint, it's not always feasible, but trying to make the effort makes it look nice. Alright, so that one's all tight and good to go. Now it's time for this one. Now this one, I'm not sure it's going to line up evenly because I had to move this, but we're going to find out. Because this one here should go through the back, up into the front. We're going to get that started again loosely. And then this goes up and in. Oh, that's difficult. Not there. See, I think somebody made this line, and I don't think they got it perfectly straight. I think it needed a little bit more of a bend to it right here. I'm going to try to see if I can push it a little bit. See if that'll line up. Yep, there we go. This one here was fun to get to. But you want to be very careful threading that in, because the last thing you want to do is strip it out. Not that I don't have extra fittings, but I'd rather not. I'm going to give that a little turn. That way. Yeah, makes it's not the easiest to get to. Actually, I might pop this fuel line back off of here so that way I can get past this and turn that in there. Yeah, so that was much easier, taking that fuel line off there to get into that. Let's get that back on. Tighten up top now. Again, I got the pump just loose enough where it's easy enough to get these lines back on. I tell you, it's making a world of difference. All right, one more. That one, I'm thinking, once I get the pump back up and lined up, that will actually line up better, so I'm going to leave that one for now. Alright, so the pump's almost tight. And one more, just for extra assurance. Yep, we're good. Okay, and yes, I did put a note on there to remember to fill that up with oil. That's the one thing I don't want to do, since it won't have diesel in there now. I'm going to try to get both of these started. Oh, yep, they went on scarily easy. Okay, let's tighten that one up now. Got the wrong wrench. I also got to take these canisters off. I'm going to replace the fuel filters while they're empty. Hopefully the ones I got from Napa are the correct ones. The only thing that sucks is that they didn't come with the new gaskets down below. I did order a couple. I'm just hoping they're the right ones, because nowhere can I find on Steiner's yesterday's tractors, Gen Sales, any of them have a listing for just the gaskets. You got to buy the whole filter, which kind of sucks that Napa didn't come with a gasket. Snug. Now I'm going to snug this one, and then once they're both pretty much bottomed out, then I'm going to tighten them. Yeah, somebody rounded that one off right there at one time in its life. That's going to make that fun. I guess I should have replaced that. Yeah, nothing like a challenge. Use a smaller wrench. Alright, I can't get past that fill. There we go. Okay. That one's good, that one's good. Alright. Next, let's jump to that timing pointer, and then we'll do those gaskets. Alright, so I figured before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and get these injector lines tightened up. And like I said, these went much easier. Once you get one on, you can use that to kind of pull against, and then you can kind of pull each one where they go. And then just tighten them all down. All in all, not too bad. Again, definitely a lot easier than it came off. Alright, let's get these last two bolts in here. And then we're ready for that pointer. Get this thing reset. Find one pocket to put the ratchet in. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to triple check everything. Alright, we're good. Alright, let's get this pointer on here. Let me find out where the bolt holes were. They're down here. See if I can snag them. Yep, I got them. Okay, I'm going to get these snugged up a little bit and then spin this back up in the position it's supposed to go in. Okay, so it looks like I got it spun right back around right there to the mark. it looks good. There it was. So in techno-theory, once we get this thing primed, it should run just like it did before, minus the leaks. Yep, looks good. I'm going to hold this in place. This one. Okay. Alright, my friends. Now it's time just to get that cover back on the front. Put some oil in there. Let's get that water drop on there. And then let's put the cover on there. This is the part I'm not looking forward to. I think sometimes this part sucks. Alright. First things first. Gasket. Screen filter, all cleaned out, ready to roll. Glass bowl. Oh, delete. Good Lord. Helps when you put it that way. Kind of need the gasket to hold the screen filter in place, huh? Alright, now get a nice clean bowl, and actually, let me see if I can wipe that out a little bit more. This came out pretty good. This thing was really dirty. You couldn't even see through this last time. So we'll go to there. Aye, now this part. Sit this down for a minute. Screw this all the way down to the bottom. Oh, you know what? I gotta get that gasket that goes on the bottom of this right here. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, I'm not sure where I put that other gasket at, but I had an extra one cut and ready for it, so guess I'm using a blue one today. Alright, let's get this back started. Alright, get in there. Holy shit, that was like scary easy. It's usually not that easy. Alright, well, I guess the worst part actually wasn't so bad. I have a feeling I'll probably have to crank that up tighter. Yes, I do. Alright, tighten that up a little bit more. Okay, that's nice and snug. That's where I want it. Glass doesn't spin, so we're good. Wow, I can see through it now. That's crazy. All right, my friends. Well, I could pop this on, even though I have to go get a pin. And she is marked. There and there. Lock that back in place. Like that. Snug that arm up, and that's up top, so I don't want to forget that part. Tighten that up, and put a pin in here. Let's turn a little bit. I don't like that. There we go. And there's the new gauge. Set that down here for now. All right, let me go get a pin. Let me go get this front cover. And from that part, she's buttoned up and ready to change those filters and bleed this thing out. That ain't right. So we gotta go for that flat spot. That flat spot is over here. And that flat spot's up here. I think it's that flat spot. Jeez, I figure eventually I get it right. Back in the gasket. All right, let's get that cover snugged up and move to the next part. Okay, so unfortunately the seals that I was hoping would be right weren't, so these do not fit the fuel filters. That's a much larger gasket. If anybody knows exactly what the part number is for these gaskets, it'd be appreciated. Luckily, these aren't in bad shape, so I can reuse this. But I wouldn't mind having a few of these on hand. I tried for the life of me to find everywhere I could, see if I could find a gasket separately. I can't. So, yeah, if you guys have any information on a part number for those gaskets, that would be appreciated. But, good news is that I just threw the filter. Good news is that at least the filters from Napa are the same ones, so they work out pretty nice. Got all the sludge and all the crap out. The part number for these filters, 3148, so that's what we're putting in. I did put a little bit of oil around these O-rings and then just give them a little wiggle like that, set them in place so that way you don't go rolling that O-ring up and off. Other than that, she is ready to go. Let's put this back down. And one more to go. I think eventually I'm going to take these off, sandblast these down, get all the chip paint off of there, and I'm going to repaint these. I just didn't have the time right now to do that, so don't make fun of me for that. And let's get the second one off. Hopefully the seal's in good shape on this one too. Get off of there. Ooh, that felt it was dirty. And that was a much needed change. Yeah, she was looking pretty bad. I think it might have been a little while since that one was replaced. Alright, it's I'm gonna have to clean this gasket up just like I did the other one. Knock that dirt back a little bit. I don't want that falling in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse these seals down the opposite way. Give a new surface for it to crush to. It's got a little bit of gunk in the channel, but not much. There we go. A little bit of sludge right there. Let me grab a flat screwdriver and pull that out of there. There. There's a lot of junk in there. Look good now. Looking good. I know definitely I want to get this oil changed in this tractor too, because I know this is going to have a lot of diesel fuel sitting up inside of that oil. So get that taken care of next. All right, good. Alright, I feel much better knowing that those are finally replaced. Okay. Well, technicality, I can go ahead and crack open the fuel lines now and let this thing start feeding and start filling. So I guess it's time to go ahead and get that rolling. All right, let's go ahead and open up the fuel. There she flows. Going up the trap so far. It's going to take a little bit to get these filled. Alright, well, you guys see the fuel flowing, so I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to watch me get these fuel filters filled with diesel fuel. So as soon as I get these filled, we'll jump up to the injector lines. Okay, so unfortunately that started by mistake. I didn't think she was going to start up so easy. I just went ahead and I wanted to crank it to bleed her out, and yeah, she fired right off, no problem. So I went ahead and I figured it's already running, let's go ahead and switch her to diesel. And yeah, this thing really pretty much bled itself super simple. I love the injectors on here because all you gotta do is just crack the nut right here and it'll actually bleed these injectors, so you don't actually have to crack the main line. So far everything looks good. I don't see anything except for the only oil that I saw was coming out from behind this new gauge. If this new gauge is going to leak, I'm going to stick the old one back on, because the fitting right there is actually leaking from this. Go figure, right? Put something new on there and it leaks like a sieve. Something that's been on there for 70 years works perfect, except for it just looked bad. So go figure. Anyway guys, well, I guess the technical will it run video, I guess yes, it runs. It runs and bled perfectly, and like I said, except for the oil, diesel that ran down through here and is dripping off. Other than that, because it came off around that cover, but other than that, no drips right there. That's like the biggest part that was dripping. Underneath, everything looks good. Nothing's dripping. Water trap is sealed. That's not dripping. All the lines are good. Oil filters, I mean the fuel filters, everything looks good. So, I guess we'll call this a win, huh? And she looks so much better than it did when I started. Alright, well, I guess this is a lot quicker video than the last few have been, so I'm going to say, make sure you guys hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. I got a lot more things I'm doing to this. We got a new stack to put on, we got the radiator paint, we got all the sheet metal to straighten out and repaint, paint the white inlays, rims, the hubs, paint, get the tires, everything off here, get the rear tires broke down off here. I got steering wheel, battery box, all kinds of stuff. I got all kinds of stuff for this thing. And then the biggest thing is this, yeah, let me go this way. This mess right here. That mess of wiring right there, I'm going to clean all that up so I can get that gauge panel off of there and paint that gauge panel silver like it's supposed to be, and then put the new gauges in, because it looks kind of ugly. But yes, I took the cowl panel off. Everything's off. Like I said, she came out nice. Like I said, it's going to be a work tractor, and for now, but at least it's going to look good doing it. So anyway, make sure you hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share if you want to follow along on the $600 Farmall 450 diesel build, and we'll keep going from there. Anyway, alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and until next time.